I'm pissed. Today's going to be a bit of a different video. I'm going to tell you about my absolutely horrible return back from France. Because actually, if you like lay it out, really not actually much else could have fucking gone wrong. Hello everybody, my name is Gavs. This is your first time on the channel. I went to France and Monaco for a trip to go and visit my family. With one of my friends. His family was there as well. We went to fly out and go visit them. And there were some very minor, teeny tiny complications on the way back. So let's go through it. So first off, the flight there. By the way, this is so bad that I actually had to make a notepad list of stuff to go through about how bad it was getting home. I tried to explain this story to Boogie Cat yesterday, and I genuinely got lost, and the entire story, like the shortened version, took me 20 minutes. Anyway, so it starts out with our flight out, which is fine. I was going to book Air Canada because I have status with them, because I go to university in British Columbia, which is on one side of Canada, and I live in Ontario, which is on the other side of Canada. So I fly a lot, and also most of my family lives in Europe, so I go and visit them a bunch. So I have just status with Air Canada. So I was like, oh, I'm going to book Air Canada flight. And then my dad was like, hey, Air France is bare cheap. There's just like a connection, whatever. I was like, oh, that's calm. That's fine. That's matcha. So the long and short of it is our parents were out there for a trip already for like a month. So me and him decided we're going to fly out for 10 days, go see them because living is free. And we're going to the south of France and Monaco, which is calm. So because I'm traveling from Canada directly to the EU, as I've done a bunch of times, I was traveling on my EU passport. So my EU passport is Irish, but it's valid for all of the EU because it's a European Union. I'm flying on that. My Canadian passport's at my house because why would I need it? They're linked. Worst case, I have a picture of it, so they have the passport number. Like, it shouldn't be a big deal. Apparently, it's a big deal. I've done this before, where I've just flown on my EU passport, and no one's given a shit. However, apparently there's new immigration laws that nobody thought to mention anywhere, because, as it turns out, it is extremely difficult to get back into the country if you're claiming dual citizenship and you don't have your Canadian passport, even if the two passports are linked. I was not happy about this. So, as you can imagine, I was not exactly pleased with that development sitting at the airport because I handed her my passport and she goes, okay, where's your visa? And I go, my visa? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, why would I need a visa? She goes, well, because you're going to the country. You don't have a return flight. You're staying for an indefinite amount of time. So I need your visa for going into the country. And I was like, that would be a really, really good idea to ask me if it didn't say my nationality was Canadian on the passport that I just gave you. Like, didn't say I was born in Canada. She goes, oh, yeah. So can I see your Canadian passport? And I was like, no. Well, why would I need to give you that? She was like, well, you're going to Canada. And I was like, all right. Well, the two passports are linked, right? Because they're the same person. Believe it or not, I'm actually not two different people on my two passports, shockingly. And I was like, okay, well, if you need proof of that for whatever reason, which doesn't make any sense because I'm going from Canada to the EU and back to Canada, you can literally track where I've been on that passport, and they're linked. And it says that I was born in Canada. Like, I'm a citizen, obviously. So I was like, okay, you need proof. Here's a picture of it. Here's the passport number. You can put the passport number into your machine because that's what scanning it does, right? And you can have, here's my Ontario driver's license, whatever. I was like, here you go. She's like, yeah, I'm going to need your passport. And I was like, I don't know what's not clear to you about me saying I don't have my passport. She's like, okay, well, I'm going to call my superior. Calls her superior. Everything goes tits up. She calls Canadian authorities and immigration. They say the same thing. And I was like, how is this new? And she was I was getting a bit annoyed and whatever. And she goes, okay, here's the solution. You're supposed to fill out this thing to cancel your passport. And I was like, whoa. Cancel my passport. She's like, well, yeah, if you do, you can't leave the country. Like, you're going to be stuck here. And I was like, what? What do you mean I'm going to be stuck here? I'm in France. Don't leave me in France. For the life of me, I can't understand how that works. Because it's just so nonsensical. So the way to get home is to cancel the thing that makes me a citizen there. I'm not happy because this is going to set me back hundreds of dollars, and also because I have a Nexus. If you don't know what that is, if you're one of a lot of my British viewers, to be fair, Nexus is a thing that is valid in North America, so Canada and the US, obviously. And it's just a trusted traveler card, gets you through security faster. They do iris scans to check who you are. You just have to have a clean criminal record and do a bunch of interviews, and they give it to you. But it takes a lot of time. You have to go to the border, which is not close to me, and you have to pay money. So because I'm canceling my passport, that cancels my Nexus as well. And I was like, well, now I'm out of passport money and time, and also out the Nexus money and time, which is a lot of money and time. I'm pissed off, but I was like, okay, I fill this out and then I can get on the plane, right? Because I just want to get home, because I have to, I have to work, I have to do stuff. So they go, well, yeah, you can, but you have to get it approved before your flight takes off. And I was like, approved by who? And they were like, oh, the Canadian government. And I was like, okay, how long does that take? And they're like, oh, it should take, they said it can take any amount of time. And I was like, ballpark. And they were like, up to a day. Up to a day? My flight's in an hour and a half. As it turns out, my flight got delayed by another hour and a half, because of course it did. So I got it approved in time. So me and my friend go home. We're on our flight home. So on our flight to Paris, we're obviously going to miss our connection. But because it's Paris to Toronto on the way back, and they're both Air France, we're like, oh, it's okay. They'll put us on the next flight. But on this second flight, the day before, myself and my friend had decided to book upgrades because, I don't know, we wanted to. What happened was he told me, oh, look at this premium economy is only 160. And I was like, what? 160? That's a crazy good deal. And he booked it. I e-transferred him and he booked it. And he goes, oh, shit, that was actually just for extra leg room. That wasn't premium economy, my bad. And I was like, I can use the extra legroom anyway because I'm 6'4", but I was like, oh man, 160 for a fucking exit row seat. I was like, damn, I just got scammed. So we get to Charles de Gaulle. It's hectic. Everyone's trying to get home because that was a connection for everybody. And the guy at the counter says that 4 flights to the US and Canada have been canceled in the last 2 hours, like major ones. And I was like, what? I was like, well, what are they getting canceled for? Because he was like, oh, it's really, really busy. We're going to have to figure out what flight to put you on. And I was like, okay, we'll put us on the one that's tomorrow morning, because that was the nearest one. And he was like, oh, the one tomorrow morning's full. He was like, I can put you on the flight at 7 p.m. tomorrow. And I was like, okay, twin, it's 4 p.m. today, right now. I want to go home. I was like, are there any other flights? Because I want to go home. And he was like, well, there is a KLM flight tomorrow, which is Dutch. And I was like, well, that can't be direct from here to Canada. And he was like, no, you're going through Amsterdam. And I was like, it's another connection. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And I was like, but if we miss that connection, I'm cooked, because Air France are not going to, they're not the same brand that are giving me my second flight. So I'm going to get cooked on the connection if we miss it. But I also get home earlier. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I was like, can you give us like premium economy, like, or whatever we paid for? And he was like, oh, there's none of that. You guys can apply for a refund on the site. And I was like, okay, whatever. Sure. We'll just take the worst seats. This all happened because I wasn't doing the talking and my friend was, and I shouldn't have let him do that because he has 2 brain cells that are fighting for third place. The next problem that we ran into was the reason why the flights were being canceled, which was because there were storms happening over the Atlantic that were blocking flight routes, so flights were getting canceled. And I was like, okay. And he was like, yeah, they're going north, so if you go to Amsterdam, you'll probably beat it. And I was like, probably? I was like, what happens if we don't? Because I'm not going to get put up in a hotel if the airplane is... or if the airlines are like 2 different airlines that aren't on the same one that are going to like help me get accommodation, if you know what I mean. So I was like, okay, well, if that one gets canceled, I'm cooked, because then I'm stuck in Amsterdam and I'm paying for the hotel. And he was like, yeah, but you'll probably beat it there. And I was like, whatever. So we took that. So we go for this deal, and he was like, well, because you're here overnight, because of that, we're obligated to put you up in a hotel. And I was like, okay, you know what? Now I'm chilling, because at Charles de Gaulle, they got the Sheraton built into the hotel. I'm like, I take my nice calm free night at the Sheraton with some dinner vouchers, some breakfast vouchers. Chill. They did not put us in the Sheraton. They put us at something called the Nord, and I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. I was like, where is that? And he was like, oh, you go to the other side of the airport by other like Charles de Gaulle is huge, by the way. Paris airport's massive, and it's one of my least favorite airports in the world. But we go to the other side of it. I speak like pretty, not fluent, but like very good French. So this was pretty easy to figure out. But the problem was the area where the shuttles were to take you to the offsite hotels weren't like marked on any signs. So we had to ask for directions from everybody. I was just like asking people. I was like, God, I'd love to speak English at some point soon. But we go to the shuttle area, and I'm looking down the list of these 50 hotels, and our hotel isn't on the list. And I'm this close to crashing out. Anyways, I'm not pleased with this development. We spend an hour at this shuttle area after walking 40 minutes to the other side of the hotel, or the other side of the airport, sorry. And we spent an hour at this gate asking people where to go. We figured it out eventually. So we get on it. It's 30 minutes off site almost. It was like 25 minutes off site, which is not good. Already, that's bad. So 25 minutes off site, not great. Then we spent another 30 minutes in the line behind everybody else that was trying to get the exact same hotel. And it says on our thing, one double room, because like I said, I let my friend do the talking, and I was gonna say, hey, let's get 2 single rooms because we're on 2 separate bookings. And he goes, no, it's okay, let's just get 1 room with 2 beds. And the guy was like, okay. But he did not understand us, and I didn't check the ticket because I forgot, and I was tired, and I don't care. And we got there, they gave us the room key, we went up, and there was 1 double bed. Not good. Not good at all. So, go back downstairs. Hey, what's good? Lassie at the front desk. I'm not sleeping with him. And she's like, oh, okay, well, we're full. And I argued with her. Well, not argued with her. I discussed it with her very diplomatically for 15 minutes before she was like, okay, you can have this room that has 1 normal bed and 1 small bed. And I was like, I thought you said you were full. I don't understand. So we get to the hotel room, this new one, and she was not kidding. There was 1 normal bed and there was 1 very small bed. It was like a uni cot, but smaller. And it is half under the windowsill. I'm sure that you can already tell where this is going. So I take the bed. And like I said, I'm 6'4", so my feet are hanging off of this bed into the closet. It's already not a good look. Our bags are still checked. I've been in the same clothes for coming up on 13, 14 hours. I was like, I just want a shower. So I go to the shower. I showered. The bathroom flooded after I showered. And there were no towels. There was no hand towels, no shower towels, nothing. I was like, I'm this close. I'm this close. So anyways, me and my incredible problem solving skills, I dried off using my bed sheet, and then got clothes on, went downstairs, asked for towels, whatever. And then we went to go use our dinner vouchers that they've given us, because you get these little vouchers for breakfast and for dinner when you go to the hotel, so you don't have to pay more money for your accommodations. I'm going to put up on the screen the videos that I sent my dad about the dinner that they gave us. Dad, let me show you the dinner we've got here. Oh, look at this dinner. I hate France. Don't worry, we've got the bevs as well. Oh, yes. Now, I was just on the edge at this point. I hadn't eaten in ages, whatever. So, get some food. We go to bed, and I've set my alarm for 4 the next day because we got to get up early for our connection to Amsterdam. So, I'm sure, as you can tell, I'm sleeping in a small bed that is half under a windowsill. Can you guess what happens when my alarm goes off? That's correct. I wake up and slam my head on the table. That was a fun way to wake up in the morning. I enjoyed that. After that, I pulled my feet out of the closet because the bed... What a fucking sentence. Oh, wait, I forgot my favorite part about this. I was paying for more Rogers Roam Like Home, like roaming, data roaming, because the hotel had 1 bar of Wi-Fi. I'm paying for this so that I can like speak to my parents and update them on what's going on, which is $15, $16 a day, which is a scam, by the way. Rogers, you slippery little bastards. I'm paying so much for my phone plan, you little suckers. But anyways, we eventually get up, we get some breakfast, some cereal, whatever, and we leave on the shuttle back to the airport. So we get to the airport, flight home, we got to Amsterdam. It was a little bit dodgy to make the connection because we got delayed slightly, but it was really good. Amsterdam airport is lovely, by the way. Anybody that lives in Amsterdam, you have a fantastic airport. I like it very much. I didn't get to experience much of it because I was sprinting through the entire thing because I landed in Terminal B and my flight was in Terminal F. Actually, it was in Terminal F and then it switched once we got to that gate to Terminal G or something. I don't know. I ran across the airport a couple times, but very nice airport. I enjoyed it. Anyways, we go on the plane and the pilot goes, well, he doesn't go like this because he was Dutch and he was normal, but I'm going to imbue to you what he said, speaking like a nonce. He was like, yeah, what's good? My G's. We're on the plane, yeah, but there's 40 different flights that are trying to get out before we have to start shutting down flights because of them storms in the Atlantic. And there's 7 slots for those 40 planes. So I'm going to yell at ATC to let us out because I want to go home and you guys do too. And I was like, calm. I love this guy. He's going to get me home. And he did, in fact, get me home. A flight was like 8 hours, whatever. Got home. Great. Yippee! Fantastic! We go home. I'm very happy. Then I had to go through customs without a passport. As you can imagine, that went swimmingly. So we got off, whatever, and I get there. Customs officer is going, yeah, where's your Canadian passport? And I was like, funny story, actually. It's not here anymore. So I gave them my Irish one. They were like, when are you going back? Where's your visa? And I was like, if I hear the word visa one more time as a Canadian citizen, I'm going to hit you with a big metal rod. But I didn't say that because he would have arrested me. I had to talk my way through all of this. I showed them all my driver's license stuff. Eventually I got through. And then we had to go to the actual customs check where you declare what you're bringing into the country. If any of you have flown internationally, if you have a nexus, this is really easy. You walk through, you do an iris scan, you go, I didn't bring anything, and they don't check you for because you're a trusted traveler. And that's definitely not a flawed system that I take advantage of. Not like that. Pause. I don't bring things into the country. Slow down. What I meant was that I take advantage of it because it's nice and fast. And I don't have to, whatever. Anyways, I did not bring anything illegal into the country this time. Okay, I don't raid my house. I didn't bring anything illegal into the country ever, I think. It's asking me how long I'm staying. And I was like, oh, Jesus, even the computers want me to go back. And I was like, okay. I called the guy over. I was like, hey, I'm a Canadian citizen, bro. It's asking me how long I'm staying. And he was like, oh, it's weird. Just put any number of days. And I was like, that can't be right. And he was like, no, it actually doesn't matter. Just put any number of days. I was like, I'm going to get deported. But I put in 1 day. So I think I'm fine because I haven't been deported yet. And it's been 3 days. So, you, immigration. Oh, let me put up my mugshot real quick that I got from that on screen right here. Yeah, I know how mirrors work. That's pretty cool. Anyways, we got to baggage claim. Baggage claim was an absolute mess. It changed carousels twice. It took about an hour for us to get our bags, which was a little bit odd. And then we finally went home. And it was all good. I haven't gotten refunded yet for the upgrades that I didn't get. I haven't gotten my new passport yet. I haven't paid for it. I haven't paid for my new Nexus yet. And I have to go do the interviews on both sides of the border for that. It's genuinely more difficult for me to get into the country as a dual citizen with another passport than it is for somebody that is illegally immigrating with no passport and staying in the country. It's harder for me to get in with my other passport, even though it says that I'm a Canadian citizen on it, than it is for somebody that has no citizenship to seek asylum in Canada, which is absolutely fucking pathetic. I gotta be honest. I know North America as a whole is in a pretty bad state right now, and every time I open Twitter, I want to end my own life because nobody seems to be educated on a single conflict that they're commenting on, which amazes me. But I also have friends that are in international relations, so I can just bum off them and get my knowledge from there. But I genuinely don't understand how this is a problem. I'm genuinely lucky that I got back in, that I didn't get sent back, I got my stuff approved. I'm lucky, and I'm still pissed off because of all the stuff that went wrong. So I personally don't understand how this system works at all because, quite frankly, it doesn't, right? So anyways, that was the video. Probably less funny than I thought it was going to be because it was just me complaining. For the record, by the way, the actual trip itself was fantastic. And if you want to see pictures from it, my public Instagram has pictures of it there. There we go, up there. And my private Instagram also has 2 different photo dumps from it, which are pretty cool. So if you want to see what it was like, then go check that out. But if not, all good. A new video should be out within a week or 2, I hope, if I stay on schedule, which I probably won't. Or if I don't get sent back to France. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you some other time.